Hello there everyone! So this is a little update Q&A video. First, before we get into the questions, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who has supported and backed this project. It's completely blown my mind where we are at right now, but there are a lot of questions about the game that I just would like to answer and clear up for any confusion that may be out there. So let's just dive into these questions and hopefully ease some of your questions and concerns. So let's begin. Okay, so the first question is about the tarot cards, which was the first stretch goal. It says, what do they do? What are they used for? They're pretty much just a collector's item. A lot of people have requested Season 1 voting cards. They're not even tarot cards, they're actually voting cards, but somehow we call them tarot cards. So yeah, they're not used for anything, they're just for collector's purposes. What is the starting player token? That is just an indicator of who is starting the turn. It's just good to keep track of that, and this is just a visual representation so you can keep track of it. The difference between normal and hard mode. Well, normal is normal and hard is hard. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, there's going to be specific placements for the SAE tiles across the board that will come in the instruction manual, but there is a more hard advanced mode which will put the tiles in more difficult places for you to get to. Oh, this is a good one. I'm worried about the puzzles. Like, once you figure them out, how would they be used again? So, you're not actually, like, solving a clue in the sense of, like a riddle or anything. The clues and the monsters all work the same in the mechanics of the game. You will flip over a clue or a monster, and it will have a number on the top left of the card. And basically, you have to roll that number or higher to defeat the clue or the monster. So, it's not like, oh, what is this square root of blah 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 blah, or there's something you have to decode. It's just the visual of the clue, and you're kind of playing make-believe. You'll have a little prompt that will basically say like what the clue represents and what it's about, but you're not actually solving it with your brain, you're solving it with rolling the dice. Oh, okay, this is a question I've seen a lot. It says, how do you play alone and how much does it differ from a 2 to 11 player game? So I'm gonna be honest, I personally would recommend playing with 2 or more people. However, it is completely possible to play by yourself. It's just a different way of the voting style. It's just a recommended to be with 2 or more players. But 1 player mode, basically there is no voting tray that will be needed. It will work very similar to how it did in the show, where you will shuffle the cards instead of having to vote, because if you're voting, you obviously know who you're voting for. But in single player, you will take all the player cards that are still on the board and you will just shuffle them up and you'll pick the top 2 cards, and those will be the 2 that are going into the final death challenge. Okay, this one is just asking in general, how does the voting work? How do you know who goes in and how to pick it? So I'm gonna make this question about 2 or more players since I just talked about the 1 player mode. So yeah, with voting, at the end of each round, you will have a token per amount of characters that you possess. Now this is another question people are confused about, so I'll kind of combine the two, is you're not just playing 1 player, you're dividing all 11 characters with the amount of people that are playing the game. So if it's 2 people, 1 will have 5 people and 1 will have 6 people that they are controlling. So 1 person will have 6 tokens and 1 will have 5. Now the tokens go away when the characters die, so if I have only 3 people, I will have 3 voting tokens. So it's 1 vote per player that you possess. And so yeah, you just go into the voting ceremony and you put your tokens in, and whichever 2 characters have the most votes go into the final death challenge. Ooh, okay, the final question is, just like in the show, will people be brought back from the dead? Yes! There are actually a couple ways that this is possible, but I will keep that a secret until you get the game. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's a really fun part of the game. So like if you're like brought out of the game, you have no more characters, you can still come back and potentially be part of the winning people to beat the game. So I hope these answered your questions. If you have any more, please feel free to leave them and I will do another one of these. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited about this game. Again, I know you guys are going to freaking love it, so if you haven't pledged already, I highly recommend that you do. It's going to be a great game and I can't wait to see how you guys play, how you win, and that's it for today. So I'll see you guys later. Keep pledging.